Welcome to Blackbriar Gaming. Today I wanted to talk about a few more excerpts that we're getting out of the rulebook. So as the Legions Imperialis rulebook has now been released to pretty much everyone, I believe, at least digitally so, we have people poring over it and picking out bits and pieces that give a hint at the future of the game. One of the things that people are very interested in is whether we will get Legion-specific detachments, Legion-specific formations, and of course, the Primarchs. Well, there's a couple of excerpts that I would like to look at today out of the rulebook that I believe confirm one way or the other. So firstly, I'd like to look at page 136 and this particular wording. It says certain formations presented in future supplements may be exclusively available to certain legions, and thus can only include models with that legion's special rule. Similarly, some detachments might only be available to certain legions, and thus can only be included in formations of that legion. Where this is the case, it will be clearly stated as part of the detachments data sheets. Now that there is saying in the future, we may, and they wouldn't say may unless we would, see detachments and formations that are legion specific. Now in regards to the formations, that could be a makeup of certain options. Let's say it was a Blood Angel formation and it'd be very Assault Squad focused, for instance, and it would really limit down what that formation can do, and I imagine put some kind of special rule to that formation, but maybe not. Maybe just have a unique mix of detachment types within that formation that brings forth the theme or character of a legion. Now, when it comes to some detachments might only be available to certain legions, we haven't seen this yet, and that would imply legion-specific units coming forth in detachments. That's what detachments are. They're units for those that aren't following yet. So we should expect Legion-specific units coming through in detachments. Now, it could go that way, or it could be something else, and we'll get to that in a second, but I'll just read out the rest of it first. A player can declare their formations as drawn from any legion, regardless of the army's allegiance. Though certain legions sided with the Emperor or the War Master, it was not unknown for disparate elements to go against the will of their Primarch and choose a different path during the Horus Heresy. The only restrictions are units that are specifically loyalist or traitor. Another hint that we will see units that are legion specific, because if they're not legion specific, they wouldn't have the loyalist or traitor piece to them. Noting, of course, that maybe if there's demons, for instance, maybe they would have the traitor keyword. Custodes might have the loyalist keyword. So there are factions, I suppose, that are either very much traitor or very much loyalist, and that might be what it is referring to. But I want to take us to now page, I think, 97, and a couple of keywords here. So this is the traitor keyword that I was talking about just there. There is a loyalist equivalent. A detachment with this special rule may only be included within an army that has the traitor allegiance. So that could be traitor units within legion armies because they are legion specific and traitor legions, much like we see certain units in 28mm Horus Heresy that are specifically traitor. The Galvorback are a great example for the word bearers. But this one is far more interesting. Unique. A maximum of one of each type of detachment with this rule can be included within an army. Now, I don't believe we currently have any units that are unique in this rulebook, therefore, we should expect ones in the future. This could go one of two ways. One way, it could be referring to particular vehicles, or particular units that are more rare. So a good example is the Ordinatus engines of the Mechanicum. I think I'm saying that all right. There's only, one type of that Ordinatus engine, and therefore it is unique. So we could, and I dare say will, see it used in that way. But another way, and this is how I believe it will be used, is to refer to Primarchs. I believe we will see Primarchs. I believe they will come with the unique keyword. I don't know if it will be and this is just conjecture, of course all of it's conjecture, but it will be interesting to see, I should say, whether that Primarch will be an individual model on that big base, noting they'll look quite tiny, with that base all to their own. Maybe they'll have a bit of a scenic base, or maybe they'll come with a retinue of some description, which will be a unique unit or unique retinue that we see in 28mm carried through for Legions Imperialis. A good example is it the Death Shroud that what's his name? Death Guard Primarch Oh, it's Mortarion. There we go. That's his retinue, or is it the other ones? I can't remember. I always get them confused. But either way, a lot of Primarchs have Legion-specific retinues. It'll be interesting to see whether they bring them out and put them on the base with them, or if they have them as separate units, if they do include Legion separate units. And with what we're seeing here, I think they will. So when they say Legion-specific detachments, Primarchs could be all that they're talking about there, because I think we'll see them. It's just not Heresy without Primarchs, but they could also be implying Legion-specific units. So I think these two bits here almost answer that question, and pretty much confirm that we will see either Primarchs or Legion-specific units, and maybe both. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. Just a nice little piece out of the rulebook to answer a question that a lot of people are asking to the best of our ability at this time. It'll be really interesting to see how they do it, how soon we see it, whether we see it in the next supplement, if it's coming that soon, or whether it's a few supplements down the road once they've gotten all of the core units out of the way. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to keep rolling those dice and getting hyped for Heresy.